this is Steve Crosby. Thanks for joining us again. The topic of healing, physical healing in our bodies, supernatural healing, miracles, is surely one of controversy. I've been a lifelong charismatic believer, and believe me, I've seen the nonsense, I've seen the harm, I've seen the lies, I've seen the chicanery and the deceit. And it discouraged me. And growing up, I would ask questions of my leaders, and I never got a serious answer. And so over the years, now going on 40 years, I began my own journey of discovery. And I came up with what I felt were reasonable scriptural responses to honest questions like, if healing is real, why don't we see as much of it in our local churches as we do, and why is there so much nonsense? There seems to be two extremes on this issue. On the one hand, you have kind of the cessationist people, those that believe some of the gifts of the Spirit don't exist anymore by design. Then you have the charismatics, and some on that extreme who think that if you're sick at all, it's because you have sin or not enough faith in your life. There are those who think faith is a commodity, that you leverage it to your advantage anytime it suits you. And then there are those who seem to think it's okay that if you pray for a doctor to have skill to bring you healing, that's okay. But if you pray for God to bring you healing, he doesn't do that anymore. Or that, he can heal sovereignly, but he doesn't work through human vessels anymore. For me, there had to be a solid biblical middle ground, and that we were probably missing something. I never got straight answers from my leaders. I got excuses and rationalizations. So we wrote this book called Healing, Hope or Hype: Why We Don't See as Many Physical Healings as We Should, and What We Can Do About it. I'm really passionate on this issue. You know why? Because it has to do with real human beings. It's one thing to talk about this topic theoretically. It's another thing when you are sick, or a loved one that you related to is sick. It's a whole nother issue. It's easy to talk about this philosophically when you're not in pain. It's a whole nother issue when someone you love is in pain or you're in pain. And in the days that we're living in, with the whole collusion between medicine, insurance companies, and government, and the cost of health care, it is my conviction that the Church of Jesus Christ is going to have to get this issue straight very soon, or we're simply going to die, because the pressure is going to be to sell our souls to the government, to ruin our finances for physical health. So the whole issue of the gifts of healing and the issue of healing in general has to move from the margins of fringe enthusiasms during a meeting into a mainstream integrated part of our existence together in Christ and with one another. So if this is interesting to you at all, if you know someone who's been hurt or disillusioned on this topic, I believe this could really help you. Some folks have been very kind to me. I'm not bragging. This is what others have said to me about this book. They said, Steve, this is the most thorough, balanced, comprehensive treatment that they've ever read, short of Bosworth's Christ the Healer. F.F. Bosworth's book, Christ the Healer, is somewhat the gold standard on this topic. And they were gracious enough to put me in the same category as that book. Could I encourage you to visit this blog? We're going to do a 5-part series. Oops, I did 4. 5-part series. And then perhaps invest in the book. I really believe it would help you. We also have free resources for you at a place called badchurchexperience.com. You can go there and sign up and get some. Our books and materials are available at stevecrosby.com, and the blog is badchurchexperience.com. Thanks for joining us again, and we will see you the next time.